This report is on Gregor Johann Mendel. It was created by Mariana McCune. Johann Mendel was born on July 22nd, 1822. He was born in a part of Austria that is now the Czech Republic, into an ethnic German family. He was the son of Anton and Rosine Mendel, and had one older sister, Veronica, and one younger, Teresia. They lived and worked on a farm which had been owned by the Mendel family for at least 130 years. During his childhood, Mendel worked as a gardener and studied beekeeping. He also studied astronomy and meteorology, founding the Austrian Meteorological Society in 1865. The majority of his published works were related to meteorology. Mendel began his studies on heredity using mice. He also bred bees in a bee house that was built for him, using beehives that he designed. He had a fondness for the bees, and referred to them as "my dearest little animals." Johann was given the name Gregor when he joined the Augustinian friar. He became a friar because it enabled him to obtain an education without having to pay for it himself. He failed the oral exams to become a high school teacher twice, and instead became abbot of the monastery in 1867. Mendel, who is known as the father of modern genetics, was inspired to study variation in plants by both his professors at the University of Olomouc, Frederick Franz and Johann Karl Nessler, as well as his colleagues at the monastery, which include Franz Diebel. Between 1856 and 1863, Mendel cultivated and tested some 29,000 pea plants, establishing many of the rules of heredity, which are now referred to as the laws of Mendelian inheritance. Mendel worked with 7 characteristics of pea plants: plant height, pod shape and color, seed shape and color, and flower position and color. He coined the terms recessive and dominant in reference to certain traits. He published his work in 1866 demonstrating the actions of invisible factors, which are now called genes, in providing for visible traits in predictable ways. Mendel presented his paper, called Experiments on Plant Hybridization, at 2 meetings of the Natural History Society of Brno in Moravia on February 8th and March 8th, 1865. His paper was criticized at the time, but is now considered an extraordinary work. During his own lifetime, most biologists held the idea that all characteristics were passed to the next generation through blending inheritance, in which the traits from each parent are averaged together. It wasn't until the 1930s and 40s that Mendelian genetics were combined with Darwin's theory of natural selection, resulting in modern synthesis of evolutionary biology. Gregor Johann Mendel died on January 6, 1884, at the age of 61, in Brno, Moravia, Austria-Hungary, which is now the Czech Republic, from chronic nephritis.